You've been lied to, not by your parents, not by your teachers, not even by society, at least not intentionally. But you've been conditioned to think in a way that guarantees you'll stay stuck. It's a mindset, a way of thinking, a way of seeing opportunity where others see obstacles. You go to school, you're told to get good grades, then get a safe job. You're taught to fit into a system, not to rise above it. You're praised for following rules, not for questioning them. They think about how to do something once and benefit from it 1,000 times. One of the most common beliefs that keeps people poor is the fear of risk. But here's the truth. Playing it safe is often the riskiest thing you can do. The wealth-building mindset says, how can I learn to manage risk and grow my money? That shift in thinking changes everything. It opens the door to investments, to business, to opportunities that others are too scared to touch. When you avoid taking chances, you stay in the same place. You never grow. You never discover what you're capable of. And worst of all, you never create options for yourself. They write a book once, and it sells for decades. They create a piece of software, and it serves millions. They buy an asset, and it pays them month after month. That's the mindset shift. And then you wonder why those who break the mold are the ones with the freedom, the wealth, and the power to shape their own futures. A way of taking calculated risks when others choose comfort. But if you're still thinking like the average person, the person who dreads Mondays, but wealthy people understand something different. They see failure as feedback. They see every setback as a lesson, every misstep as data. They know the only real failure is refusing to try. Because without taking risks, you can never truly create anything meaningful. If time equals money, then your income is forever limited by the hours you can work. But look around. The wealthiest people don't trade time for money. They build systems, they build assets, waiting for the perfect time, waiting for someone to validate their idea, waiting until they feel ready. But that day never comes. You'll never feel fully ready. You'll never get unanimous support. And you'll never reach your potential if you keep waiting for someone else to tell you it's okay to start. They create things that continue to generate income, whether they're sleeping, traveling, or sitting on a beach halfway around the world. They understand that clarity comes from motion, not from standing still. If you want to change your life, stop waiting, start moving, start building, start failing forward. And wait for Fridays. Then there's something you need to hear. ULL. Never get rich thinking like that. This mindset is deeply ingrained in many people from a young age. We hear phrases like, money doesn't grow on trees, rich people are selfish, or more money, more problems. And without realizing it, we start to feel guilty for even wanting wealth. Stuck in the same place, stuck in the same job, stuck living paycheck to paycheck, and most dangerously of all, stuck believing that's just how life is supposed to be. Let's get one thing straight from the beginning. Wealth is not just about money. Most people are trained to think in terms of survival, not in terms of growth. The first toxic mindset that keeps people broke is thinking time equals money. That's one of the biggest lies ever sold. You'll never get rich if you think your income must always depend on your presence. That's an employee mindset. It's the belief that if you just work harder, work longer, grind more hours, somehow you'll break through. But hard work alone doesn't make people rich. Millions of people work hard every single day and still struggle to pay the bills. Why? Because it's not just about effort. It's about leverage. It's about multiplying your results without multiplying your time. Here's something most schools never teach. Wealthy people think in terms of scale. Now let's talk about risk. We've been taught to fear failure like it's a plague. The middle-class mindset says, I don't want to lose money. Another destructive mindset is waiting for permission. Most people are waiting. Wealthy people don't wait. They decide. They act. They course correct as they go. Now let us address another dangerous belief, that money is evil or that wanting to be rich makes you greedy. But here's the truth. Money only amplifies who you already are. If you're generous, kind, and driven to help others, then more money gives you the ability to do more good. Money is a tool. That's all it is. It's not evil, it's not holy, it's neutral. And how you use it depends on your values. So don't let someone else's limiting beliefs stop you from pursuing abundance. Because the more resources you have, the more impact you can make. The next trap that keeps people stuck is the obsession with consumption over creation. They don't see big goals as impossible. They see them as challenges worth pursuing. They know that even if they fall short, they'll still end up further than they would have by playing it safe. The average person spends their time consuming entertainment, social media, other people's opinions. Instead of asking, what can I buy? Ask, what can I build? Instead of saying, I need a raise, say, I need equity. And eventually, owning assets that pay you whether you show up or not. Stop focusing on how much something costs and start focusing on how much it returns. The safety net that disappears the moment you get laid off, or the economy shifts. Listen to people who've built what you want to build. It's time to stop chasing comfort and start chasing growth. But the moment you shift your mindset, everything begins to change. Stop waiting for the perfect moment and start building the future you actually want. It's about realizing that your beliefs shape your behavior, and your behavior shapes your results. Spend time around individuals who talk about ideas, not gossip. Who talk about vision, not drama. Who push you forward, not hold you back. And the life you dream of, the wealth, the freedom, the impact, starts becoming real, one step at a time. It's fragile, it's risky, yet so many people cling to it like it's the only option. The wealthy focus on creating value, products, solutions, content, ideas, not overnight, but intentionally. They start a side hustle, they invest, they own assets, they create digital products or license their skills. They understand that real financial security doesn't come from a job, it comes from options, from resilience, from ownership. Think about this. It's shaped every day by the people around you. If you're surrounded by people who complain, who fear change, who ridicule ambition, that will rub off on you. They refuse to accept the default settings. They question the rules. They rewire their beliefs. And most importantly, they take action. Slowly, subtly, but powerfully. Every product you've ever bought was created by someone. Not what can I buy to feel good for a moment, but what can I build that lasts? You hear it all the time, be practical. Don't dream too big, just be grateful for what you have. And yes, gratitude is powerful, but it should never be used as an excuse for stagnation. Gratitude and ambition are not opposites. You can be deeply grateful for where you are and still hungry for more. That's the kind of thinking that separates those who stay stuck from those who break through. It shrinks your vision. It keeps you operating below your potential, and it convinces you that mediocrity is noble. But the truth is, there's nothing noble about playing small. If you have the ability to grow, to build, to lead, to create, then you have the responsibility to do so. Every app you use, every book you read, every course you take, someone made that. Someone took the time to create something valuable, and that's why they get paid. Wealth follows value, and value comes from creation, not consumption. If you want to change your financial future, start asking a better question. What can I create that helps others? Here's another belief that quietly ruins potential. Thinking small to stay realistic. Thinking small doesn't protect you, it limits you. Wealthy individuals dream big and then reverse engineer their goals into steps. Another mindset that keeps people broke is relying on a single source of income. The job, the paycheck. Wealthy people diversify. They build multiple streams of income. And speaking of ownership, here's a shift that changes everything. Stop thinking like a consumer. Start thinking like an owner. Ownership is the foundation of wealth. Owning your time, owning your skills, owning your decisions. Finally, let's talk about environment, because your mindset doesn't exist in a vacuum. If you want to get rich, upgrade your environment. Read books that challenge your thinking. The people who succeed financially aren't born lucky. They're not born with some secret code. They just refuse to think like everyone else. So if you've been stuck thinking like the world around you, it's time to break free. Because the truth is, you'll never get rich thinking like everyone else. It's not about being perfect, it's about being intentional. Change how you think. Change what you believe is possible.